Hi there, welcome to today's episode. Have you ever experienced this? That God told you something much bigger that He gonna bless you. Then you look at your current situation, resources, bank account, for example, you just couldn't imagine how that would happen. Yin, welcome to the show. Has been a while. I haven't seen you and hear your voice.
I know it as I said to you before, like I don't want to think how long it's been, but it has been a while and it's so lovely to see you. It's been great.
Today's episode is really just to share that maybe that's one turning point, uh, or just always a season of your life that God spoke to you or God inspired you on your business and resulting whatever that either it's beneficial or certain growth in your business and life. Would you please share with us?
Well, I think for me I think I had this inability to not dream big. And I don't come from a corporate background. I trained as a singer, the starving artist kind of thing. That was kind of me. I was struggling. I had some success with my business, don't get me wrong. But back in around, let's say 2014, 2015, I was teaching singing. I was trying to make a living with my blog and my business. And I think it kind of happened through Helen, my wife. We were talking and praying, and we felt that God was saying that we were going to be able to get a bigger house. Because our kids were growing. We had this very small house. It was just they were sharing a room. They were just babies at the time. And I thought that's just not possible. That is like, how is that going to happen? But within a year, we managed to move into rented accommodation. Some friends of ours were renting their house out. So we rented our old house out, and we moved into rented accommodation. And it was at that time that I came on to find out about Facebook Live. And I wrote this article and I sold a course, which went really, really well. And we were able to pay the bills, and it was all, and I had this new exciting focus or pivot onto live video. And then a similar thing happened. We were getting to the stage when we were thinking, well, really, we should be buying a house. And we were walking around the area that we're now in, thinking, oh, it'd be lovely to live here. It's so close to the school. And then I was just really afraid, thinking, it's just not going to happen. I'm just not going to be able to afford it. But we really felt somehow that God had a plan, that somehow we were going to be able to afford to buy the house. And the really important thing for us is the kids. We wanted them to be able to walk to school. And at the same time, well, about a year later, my business basically exploded, and I was working with brands. I had lots of people coming to me wanting help with live video, setting up live video and podcasting. And particularly with this one or couple of brands that I was working with, we were able to find a mortgage provider that was willing to lend us the money, because beforehand, they look at entrepreneurs and they're quite cautious. Let's put it that way. But somehow God made it happen, and we're now living in this house in this lovely area. The kids can walk to school, and I think I learned from this that God has a plan for us all. And sometimes we go through difficult times. He doesn't always give us what we think we want, but sometimes he kind of dares us in a way. I don't know whether this is the right way of putting it, but he dares us to dream big. And my problem was that I didn't think God was going to bless us. I didn't think I deserved it. And in one sense, that is true. None of us deserve God's blessing, but he did want to bless us. And so, yeah, that's my story.
By the way, this episode is sponsored by our very own She Inherited Founder Academy. What is She Inherited Founder Academy? It's a premier community for Christ-centered female founders to start, grow, and scale your online business elegantly. We focus on identity-aligned positioning, compassion-driven marketing, and confidence-fueled selling to establish your business and solid ground for accelerated growth. In short, real women build real business and serve a real God. Inside the community, we focus on 4 key areas, but not limited to: We talk about, first of all, you becoming the CEO that God has called you to be. We talk about biblical principle for business, clarity on your short-term and long-term goals, and build a bridge between where you are now to where you want to be. Learn how to steward 5 essential areas in your business and life, master the business legal and administration and finance and so on. How to articulate the value of your offers, how to create that sell out offer suite for your business, and which platform you should choose, what kind of content machine you should build in order to solidify your foundation, and also to be able to attract the right type of clients and generate the income and impact as well. So if you're one of those crisis-centered female founders and you would like to have a community like this to support you at a very, very reasonable price, well, we have a founding member price promotion at the moment. Just go to kellybutler.com/founder for detailed information. Wow, I remember, some, part of it, obviously, because there was a season of time that we worked together. You were part of my community, and I just remember that you always have this ability to very deep level of empathy for other members in the community, and that's always other members say that. And I also remember you mentioned about some of the challenge then, but I'm so glad that we can hear now the end of the story of you guys are in this beautiful home, because I recently saw your Facebook post that you're organizing your home office, and I was so glad to see that. Well, yeah, I think Ian just mentioned, say, in one side that we feel like we don't deserve God's blessing, right? God's love. Yet, right? He sent his son to die on the cross for us, for each single one of us. So if we believe that is truth, and I think we do, what else he wouldn't bless us? And I think both Ian and me, we both are parents, right? I think we probably can easily relate if our children, right, came to us, no matter what kind of mistakes they have made. Actually, God challenged me the other day. I was repenting of the mistake I made, and a couple of times. And God asked me a question, say, "Are you done yet?" I said, "Yes, Lord, you obviously have something to say." He said, "Do you think that now I see less of you?" I say, "Maybe." Consider the mistake I made in my mind, okay? Then he asked me a question, say, "Well, Kelly, if Philip, Sarah, they made mistake, now they're in their 20s, okay? So fair to say they also made enough mistakes while they are awesome kids. Did you love them less?" I said, "No," right? And I think that it's kind of the, great reminder or another wake-up call in a sense of God did not see, or God doesn't see us as what we see us, no matter as when we are high in the mountain, top, or we are low in the valley, in the bottom of valley. God see us the same. He see how we are finished in his image. So yeah, if I ask you, say, give our audience, a piece of advice or encouragement. Let's say they are in the place of just that where you were, you feel like, Helen, your lovely wife, when you guys heard that, hey, God wants us to buy the house, but then you look at the reality, well, quote unquote reality right then and say, I'm not so sure. I don't think we can afford that. Probably we also don't deserve this. How you will encourage those people to move forward?
Wow, that's such an interesting question, and I think I would say that question is not a fair question in a sense, because as I said before, in one sense, none of us deserve God's blessing, but he has decided to unleash this amazing blessing. You know, particularly you mentioned Jesus sending his son to die for us. And I would say talk to the Lord about it. Have conversations. Not all of us are able to maybe have the same kind of conversations that Kelly does. Like I think some well, I think my wife Helen is a bit like this, that she can have those conversations with God. But what the reason I know I'm being horrible to you, Kelly, but the reason I said that is that I thought that I wasn't able to have those kind of conversations with God. And sometimes God speaks to us in different ways. Sometimes he speaks to us through other people, and sometimes he speaks to us in ways that we don't necessarily see at the time. I would say we need to have patience. And we also need to know that sometimes the road that we choose or that God chooses for us is a really slow and difficult path. And that was certainly the case for me. I still joke with people that I feel like I'm just about ready now to run my own business and to I feel like I'm almost ready now. And it's taken me, let's say 20 odd years. It's been a long slog, but God wants to bless you and he wants to bless others through you as well. Don't get in the way of God's plan. Just dream with God and allow him to reveal his purposes for you. And with it, you can do some really, really exciting stuff. Just be prepared for there to be difficulties along the way, because there will be. Things are not perfect for me right now. There's still some struggles. But I'm also excited about the potential for the future as well. So that's what I would say.
Wow. I think that's it. I can wrap up the podcast right now already. It's the best answer ever. It's the most sincere answer ever. And just like what Ian say, he still has struggle, and I can assure you guys, no matter which stage we are in business, for the leg of terms, I don't care you just get started or you are in 6, 7, 8 figure and beyond. It doesn't matter. Each single level have all different kind of challenges, and is that each single challenge is that you can draw my knees closer to the ground. That means I'm closer to the Lord, and that is the true growth for me. Yeah, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show to share such a wonderful encouragement and message for us. Well, let's make sure next time we'll be closer. We meet again.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for having me on. I mean, it's just, first of all, lovely to catch up with you because it has been so long, but also I find it a real blessing to be able to talk about things from a godly Christian perspective, because I don't get to talk about it very much with people, because I don't know, at my church, people don't tend to be that interested, or maybe I think they're not interested. But actually talking about this from a Christian perspective is so, so important for us believers, I think, because it's the only thing really that matters, to have that eternal perspective.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we try to do in this podcast and in the YouTube channel as well. Try to just present the most, truthful, natural, authentic way. Because we all know that, we are doing life. Life is not everyday rainbow, right?
Yeah.
But we have rainbow to go after. So, Ian, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly. It's been great.
And if you like this video and this episode, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share with others so more Christ-centered leaders have the opportunity to consume this type of valuable content. Before I go, I just want to remind you that you can click on the screen to go to the next business growth videos, and I will see you in the next episode.